Hello, welcome to the last episode of 90 Day Replay for this current season of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. We've had a lot of ups, we've had a lot of downs, so they split the tell-all into two parts, which is not unusual. So this was the second part of the tell-all, happened this past week. It wasn't as juicy as I wished it was, which sounds kind of bad, I guess. I want it to be more messy. And it definitely was, but since they focused on some of the messier couples last episode, there was a little bit of something lacking this week, in my opinion, but doesn't matter. I'm actually kind of glad it's over. But I did save a bunch of memes. So if we recall from last week, there was a big focus on Jasmine and Gino, who will be in this upcoming season, and also Statly and Dempsey. Hold on. Dempsey and Statler. I'm making up my own characters. I'm making up my own lore. This is my 90 Day Fiancé OC named Statly. I wonder where Statly's from. I guess Statly could be from the US like me, but I don't know. We'll work on Statly's stats at a later date, I think. They did touch very briefly on Violet and Riley, and Misha and Nicola last week, and a bit of Christian and Cleo. So this week we kind of focused more on the other half of that, with callbacks to the other couples, of course, because they can't keep their mouths shut, and it got quite interesting. I do want to say, first of all, the live studio audience, they didn't do anything else this week either, and it was disappointing as a viewer. Like, I said this last week, but I would have done so much. Oh, and also, I do have a new little chat widget, chat box up. We'll see how nice it works. It may need troubleshooting because I'm just a baby, but we'll see. I think it looks really cute, very thematically appropriate. Let me get this properly sized here. But yes, this definitely seemed like a paid studio audience sort of crowd. These are not the fans that I want them to be. That could have been me. Pick me. I will be a pick-me girl about one thing, and it's this show. So, a little disappointed, but there is a blessing with that I didn't have to hear annoying takes from people that don't know what's happening. So, at least they didn't have these random people actually commentating or saying anything, because I would have been so annoyed with whatever they decided to say, because they don't know what's going on. Clearly they don't. They're just like, yeah, what the hell is this? Why are we talking about all this shit? Who are you? Who are you people? But so last week they left us on a cliffhanger in regards to the baby between Riley and Violet. If you remember, there was a whole back and forth because Violet is saying that she's pregnant with Riley's baby, and those two seemed so incompatible, and they blocked each other for like half of the time that Riley was in Vietnam. So everyone was like, what's the truth? What's the truth? And Violet wouldn't go to the international hospital to have a pregnancy test and a paternity test done. So Riley was obviously skeptical. And we open up this week with what's the status of the baby? Is the baby real? Is it Riley's? And Violet tells us that she unfortunately had a miscarriage. So some people believe that. Some people think that there was no baby. That's a sensitive topic I'm not going to comment on. If she really did suffer a miscarriage, that's that's very, very unfortunate, and I feel awful for her. So I don't want to like make too many baby jokes in that regard, but this tweet was pretty good. So you guys might not be familiar with Angela from one of the previous 90 Day Fiancé seasons. She's in her 50s, and her fiance, husband at this point, Michael, he's from Nigeria, and he really wants a child, and so does his family. And he said that, Angela, if we get married, one of the things is that we need to have a baby. And Angela's like, I can't have kids anymore, Michael, but my daughter can. So like, what if, hear me out, what if my daughter is our surrogate, and we do that? And her daughter was not consenting to this at all. I don't think anything came of it. There was just a lot of talk of it, but Angela kept going, like, she was like, you just need to tote the egg, was her exact words to her daughter. And I've never heard the word tote used for like a fertilized egg for like a human baby. So I think about that all the time. Whenever someone's like, oh, I'm pregnant or something, like, oh, Skylar, you gotta tote the egg for me. I think about it all the time. So yeah, this tweet is poking fun at that. So Angela couldn't get pregnant. So yeah, there's a better chance that Angela was pregnant with Riley's baby. And Riley even said that he is on a medication, so he has a very like low chance of conceiving. So who knows? We certainly don't. And that's one of the, if I cut to my last slide really quick, this is a one that I'm going to call back to the whole time. Oh, the chat is in the way of this one. Hold on. But the host, Sean, she loves to say that I don't think we'll get this resolved tonight, but I wish you luck. Every single time, without fail, those are the words she says. So, once again, we don't know. We're not going to solve this tonight, but I truly do wish them the best. And then Violet was silent. Violet was silent? Really? Violet was silent for the rest of the tell-all. Riley did have a couple remarks, some of them that were like, yeah, okay, and other ones where I was like, sir, just shut up, please. Like, your segment's done. We're done with you. I don't want to see you on any other episodes. Like, please don't try to push yourself for a spin-off, because it's not going to work. But anyways, where the drama really matters, well, none of it does, but all of it does at the same time. So, we get into Amanda and Razvan a bit, and they were the ones where Amanda's husband passed away, so she goes to Romania to meet her new boy, Razvan, and she was being real wishy-washy. She was kind of love-bombing him the whole time that she was there. The second that Razvan said he's not sure if they'd work out. So they're now in this tell-all position, and Sean is asking them, hey, what's your status? Things like that. And Razvan says, I'm coming to the U.S. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta go back. I'm so sorry. Violet's coming to the U.S. too, and she's gonna hang out with Riley. Like, not as a couple, but like as friends. And I'm just like, I don't think that's going to go over well at all. I'm waiting for a complete, utter meltdown from both of them. And then she's going to be stuck in, well, I guess I don't know if she's staying with him or not. She might have other people that she's staying with or has other connections, and she's just going to say hi to Riley. I don't know. I think it's really messy. So we'll see, because I don't think it's gonna work out for either of them. But anyways, Razvan also has a visa to come visit the U.S., and it sounds like he's coming for American Thanksgiving, kind of like how we've talked about with other couples and their own Thanksgiving problems. So We'll see, but I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed because I really thought he was totally done and over her and he can do so much better than her, and she's, like this tweet says, she is the real villain. Her sister did come on the tell-all a little bit. That's TLC's favorite thing to do, is to get random people from the cast members' lives, or like, yeah, just random people from the cast members' lives to sort of comment. And none of these people that are getting called in for their little guest segments have any idea what's happening. None of them have watched the show, because if they did, they wouldn't be saying half the stuff that they say. But Amanda's sister did kind of throw her under the bus a bit, and I like wanted that to keep going, but Amanda was like, be quiet. So she shut up real quick. But at least Amanda's sister sort of sided with Razvan, that Amanda was being really mean and should have like respected his boundaries, and when the relationship was over, the relationship was over. But messy. Amanda just kept saying stuff through the whole tell-all to try to stay relevant, and she's not. I kind of wish they let Razvan stick up for himself more, but it is what it is. I think that he at least had a good enough send-off. They didn't paint him in a negative light. He didn't have some big everyone agreeing with him moment, so that's fine. They can just both fade into obscurity, and we'll see what happens with this whole Thanksgiving situation, because he will be meeting her kids then, and the kids that he kept asking, when am I going to be able to meet them? And Amanda kept saying, don't talk about it. I don't know, we're not talking about it. It's like, how dare you even ask me that question? So very interesting. And it's bad when you know that Jasmine is actually the one in the right, even though she's on the left in this picture, because Jasmine's so wild. She's the one that sounds like Mort, who was crying about the Panamanian flags, who will be on this new season that starts on Sunday in the U.S. with Gino in Michigan. And I'm so scared. I'm so scared how messy that's going to be. And we'll see if she actually got that will written up or not. But yes, Jasmine kept being like, Amanda, I think you were the toxic one. I think the relationship was toxic. And it's bad when Jasmine's the one that's actually right. It's very telling for the kind of person you are if Jasmine is the one that is making sense and is the most agreeable in the situation. We do go back to Jasmine and Gino a bit because they do bring up the prenup and the will, and there's yelling about that. Oh well, no, I dropped the prenup thing, and they talked a little bit about the will, and she got real upset in regards to what she's gonna do, because she is in the States at this time. Like, the visa's been approved at the time they're filming the tell-all. So she's already had some time in the States. They didn't really get into it. I'm sure there's some sort of like NDA where it's like the canon of this season has to stop here. So you can't mention anything about the current situation. But we'll have to wait and see. And, I'll report back and I'll go, God, why do I watch this? And then I'll watch every episode. Very, very briefly, with Tyree, who was sort of this is going to sound so bad, sort of a non-player this season. He was the one that got catfished. They had built up during all the previews, that they're going to call his catfish. And they do, but it goes to voicemail. So he doesn't get to say anything to him, and we don't get to hear from the catfish. But Tyree does disclose some more information that he did go when he went to go meet with that person. Hello, welcome to the mess. We're talking about catfishing and the drama of this guy Tyree, who admitted to everyone there on camera that he did go down to Mexico to meet up with this catfish, bought a bunch of clothes, and at this point, I don't know if it's male or female clothes. Yes, welcome to the mess. Because was this at the point where, because basically what happened is he had believed this whole time he was talking to this woman named Carmela, and then he wasn't able to video chat with her or voice call her even for like 3 years. And then the producers found out, hey, this is actually a guy and his name is Christian. So I'm just thinking, when he went down to drop off this clothes and supplies that this catfish asked for, like, I wonder if the catfish asked for women's clothes or not, like to keep up the charade. But I guess you could just sell I'm just thinking, did the catfish say, yeah, I need you to bring a bunch of like men's clothes. Like, don't worry about it, but I need you to bring a bunch of men's clothes. So I simply don't know. And they didn't tell us, but I'm curious. And they did have one of the producers on, the one that found out the identity of the catfish. They had her on a little bit, and she basically said that she was able to speak to the catfish, and the catfish actually, this is scary. This is scary, but the catfish saw Tyree from his car when he dropped off that stuff. And it's just, it scares me. The scariest thing about this month is your catfish stalker in a car down in, I think they went to Mexico for this, but anyways, she said that she did speak to the catfish a little bit. And it was funny that his name is Christian, the catfish, because there's another cast member this season named Christian. And I wanted so badly for it to be the same guy. And then like the phone rings, and then it's the Christian who's sitting in the room's phone. Because he really was a mess this whole time, especially this week. But then Tyree also divulged that he did share suggestive pictures with the catfish, and that his face was in all of those pictures. And everyone was like, Tyree, you really fucked up. That was not the move. And he said, I know that now, but I don't know. It was messy. They brought him up within like the last 10 minutes of the episode because he truly didn't have anything else to contribute. We haven't actually seen him in any of the episodes for weeks, which is fine. Like, I'm glad they didn't drag it out longer, but we really did just get stuck with the voicemail for this person and nothing else. But speaking of Christian, my God, was he a mess? Was he so frustrating? This is the one that was talking to women in bars and saying that, oh, I talk to everyone equally, and was inviting people to Thanksgiving. They called in the lady that met him, that he ran into at the bar and was invited over for Thanksgiving. And they showed a never before seen clip. And of course, I don't know how staged it is or isn't. But he was literally like, oh, yeah. Like, they had a whole conversation, and he was just kind of weird the whole time. Not that I wouldn't be weird. Like, yeah, come on. But right before she left, she's like, oh, like, I'm gonna have to go, like, nice talking to you. And he goes, wait, 1 second. We're having a Thanksgiving tomorrow at my girlfriend's house. Like, do you want to come? And she said, no, I have to go to Belgium, which is like, it's not an excuse. I think that was legitimate, but that's the funniest thing to be like, oh no, I'm going to Belgium. Sorry, I can't. But he did get her Instagram account. And then it was the whole, were you actually in contact with her after this or not? But he also admitted that he has a Discord server for him and his friends. And in that server, it sounds like they just talk about people they slept with. And he mentioned it like casually. He was like, yeah, and I don't remember what he called it, what the name of his like server was. but it made me cringe really, really hard. Yes way. I'll have to find it. There's a whole clip. You gotta join the server. Hey, we can find out what it is. Let me see. Christian 90-day Discord server. Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it, because this is just showing me clips about like Christianity Discord servers. So I'll find it. I'm li- oh my god, I'm getting new ideas. It's like a undercover boss where you go in, you infiltrate the server, not for any nefarious purposes, just to see what the hell happens, and then you report it back to me because I have a problem. It's called I need to know what's going on with the drama and the mess. Like just a little inside job. I'm trying to... I bet it's private. I bet he won't let you in. But yeah, so he's like talking very openly about all his friends in this Discord server. Exactly, the inside scoop. Oh, we can have a little inside scoop segment. Okay, Christian. So I'm looking this up on my phone at the same time because it's just going to be too much. Discord. Oh, there's a Screen Rant post. I'm afraid. Detective Weemy walking in. Exactly. Oh, okay. I found it. It's called Steiner's Anonymous. Hold on. And that's what he calls his friends are the Steiners. That seems to be how they spell it. I don't know. It was really weird. He was really... yeah, I don't know. He was weird about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, so yeah, so he in this never before seen clip, he says that he's a wolf on the prowl, which is the weirdest thing for him to say in that moment. And then he said, I found like a quote here. So he's at the bar with this random American that's going to go to Belgium or whatever the next day. Let's see. Yeah, so he basically was sharing his relationship drama with this random lady in the bar, which, you know, what happens, whatever. And she said something about how, oh, you're just broadcasting all your relationship troubles to the world. And he says, oh, no, but, like, eventually I'd have to tell, like, my Steiners. And he says that's his community of like-minded people. Shall we say, basically, if you're, like, a cool person, you're a Steiner. He said he created it with a couple of his buddies. It started as a code word, so instead of saying he slept with someone, Christian would say he got some Stein. And then he also said, I remember last week, I don't treat people differently based on the fact that they're a woman. And that line just made me laugh really, really hard. Oh, it looks like you can join. Christian, who doesn't mind inviting more people to join his Steiner's Anonymous chat board, has added an invite link to his Instagram bio. It has a total of 227 members at the moment. What's your Instagram, sir? I know, it is really, like, I'm not here to judge anyone, but that certainly is a choice that he made. So not to be weird, I am going to find out what his Instagram is. Oh, okay. I did find it. Oh my goodness, it looks like he has a Twitch as well. Christian, hi. Christian, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. Yeah, if any of that information is truly wanted, DM me and I'll send you the link. But I don't need to just drop all that in the chat, but you can find it real easy. But he had a moment. Raid Christian when? I'll have to find out. Christian buddy, what do you stream? When do you stream? Christian, will you play Genshin Impact with me? Christian, oh my god, could you imagine? Could you imagine, Christian, can I interview you on here and I can just hear your side of the story? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Christian, if you're watching, I'm serious. Oh my god, I'm thinking about it. And how wild that would be. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, there's a picture of him as the Joker on his Twitch. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not trying to be whatever. He has a stream as of yesterday called Tuesday Night with the Steiners. It's, here, I'll pull it up, or I'll, because he has a link tree. So what he was doing this past episode was he was basically kind of getting lambasted for his actions in the bar, whatever. And then Sean, the host, she asks and says, Cleo, that's the girl he's dating. He goes, Cleo, if Christian continues this behavior, could you see yourself staying with him? And she goes, well, I don't know. I think some of the behavior would have to change for my comfort, things like that. And then the moment that literally, I think I literally had to stand up and walk away. Christian asks Cleo to marry him on live TV, and she's Zoom calling in from England. And then it cut to commercial, and I just kept saying, she's gonna say no, because the whole time that he was visiting, she understandably was not a fan of things like surprises, or, talking to random people, things like that. And I was like, she's gonna say no. And she goes, well, yeah, probably, yeah, we could get married. And I got so mad. And then he kind of recants his statement by a half. He's like, well, this isn't a real proposal. Like, if it was a real proposal, I'd have to be in front of you there and like, but this is like a partial proposal to see how things work out. And like, at that point, you don't propose. And people are thinking that's just how he's trying to secure a spot on another season by, yeah, by proposing. Oh, yeah, and then this was good. This was a screenshot from the episode. Um, this was him in the bar, the lady that he was talking to in the bar, her head's right there, and then his girlfriend Cleo's in the box reacting, and it was, I mean, it was painful to watch, but I did laugh. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so then they're like, oh, well, we wish you the best of luck. And Cleo is coming to the US as well to visit. And, or she did visit, actually. She had already visited. And everyone was like, oh, how did that go? How did that go? And Cleo and Christian said that they only met with the women of his family because I think he said that it's just, he said the men are like manly men, and Cleo is a trans woman, and I get where he's coming from, but I'm also like, okay, and I'm glad everything like went fine, and she's good and safe, and I don't know, all that scares me sometimes, so I'm glad everything's good. He does look like a background character in a fighting game. He's an NPC. I mean, we're all kind of an NPC to someone, but you're absolutely right. He's kind of just like a randomly generated sim, or a fighting game background character. I think you're right. And he'd say, "Yeah," as he's cheering. That's what he'd be saying. And he's yeah, that's what's going on. So I think he set him and Cleo up for another appearance on another show. I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm also like, I'm really curious. I want to know what's happening. Maybe I follow him on Twitch after this. Uh, I'm not joining that Discord server though. I don't talk in Discord servers anyway. Like, that's my toxic trait is I say, yeah, I'll join the Discord server. I join, I say one thing, I immediately get overwhelmed, and I mute the whole thing, and then I forget that I'm in it, and I have no idea what happens because I don't look at it. So it would be the exact same thing. It wouldn't be worth it for me to join, but if anyone wants to, I mean, I guess it's a public Discord, so I could like, this sounds awful. I could like take a peek. But like, okay, I'll gain information. Exactly. I want to join for the funny, but I'm low key scared. Like, I don't know what I will find. And I'm sure things have changed now since that episode aired, and he's clearly has it open to the public or whoever. So I'm sure that the most scary parts have probably been like, I don't know, hidden or deleted or something, just for like it's like when you clean up your house before guests come over because you don't want them to see all your garbage and like embarrassing stuff. uh, it's the same thing. I think they got rid of all the garbage and then said, yeah, okay, come on in because I want my clout from TV. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll calm. I don't know. I don't know how busy it is. Maybe it'll calm down a little bit, and we'll see. He did post on the 25th of September a picture of him with the tell-all crew. Yeah, it's interesting to see how the dynamics change on camera and off camera. I do wonder sometimes if the producers they sort of pick like an instigator for these tell-alls. There'll be one or two people that always seem to be really really riled up, and this time I think it was Statler, but yeah, I don't know. This is something else. If I ever join the server and take a peek, I'll let you know. Nothing crazy though. Like I'm not gonna share crazy personal information or anything like that. But if I go in there and there's anything of note that's worth sharing, I'll let you know. But I can't see myself joining. I do know he says that he respects people, including women. So like maybe I'm fine, but I simply do not know. But yes, so as last we know, Cleo did come visit in Minnesota, visited his female family at least, and who knows what happened there. It sounds like she had a visitor's visa, so I guess things are going well. I totally didn't believe that they would make it this far. I seriously thought that after the tell-all, they were going to cut all communication because they just seemed like such a mess. But I don't know. If it's working out, it's working out. If it's just so you can get on another episode or another season, whatever floats your boat. Who am I to judge? Oh yeah, so here was a moment where on the screen is Cleo's best friend who did come to that Thanksgiving, and then sitting in the chair is the girl from the bar. Oh my god, if you see someone you know. I don't know. It's like that show that used to be on it might still be on TV. It's not like one that I'd watch, but sometimes my mom would watch it. With John Quinones, What Would You Do? Where it's like a setup situation and they try to see how people would react. I don't know what I would do in that situation. You get put on a list, or the person in the server gets put on a list, and the list is just like cringe list. Nothing serious, it's just the cringe list. And I mean, I'm on the cringe list somewhere. Not for being in that server, but that's how you or start filtering people out. Like red flag if you're in that Discord server. And so first, as part of like a background check maybe for like a job interview, everything like that, they look you up. If they notice you're in that server, I'm sorry. Thank you for the interview, but we found somebody else for the position. I wonder if they do that. I don't know enough. I think that's too much work. For like a background check, they're not going to look into Discord servers, I don't think. But I don't know, not my decision. But that would be crazy if they did. Crazy if they did. Now, my one criticism with them having this random lady from the bar on the show, well, someone did bring up a good point, that this could have just been someone they hired, to come in and say, oh yeah, I definitely seemed like he was hitting on me. If he didn't tell me he had a girlfriend, I definitely would have thought he was hitting on me. So, you never know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I find it more enjoyable that way. I understand things are scripted. I understand people are coached to say things and everything like that, but I'm just gonna believe. I want to believe. But I don't know why they brought that lady on and they didn't bring Jasmine's ex, Dane. That would have been the most juicy, the most messy. Oh, I would have died. He said it was his defense was that because he's in England at this time, his defense was that he met another American and he hadn't met another American, and he was being his friendly extroverted self. And he said if he was in America, he would have done the same thing. I can't say I have ever done that. I've also never been in that situation. But I could understand to an extent if, this is my if he was somewhere for like an extended period of time and English wasn't the primary language being used. Okay, oh, you found an American, but okay, you're in England. I know we joke about it, but I promise you they speak English. If he was in China somewhere and he had been there for a long time and he ran into someone who was an American who was also there and he was there over Thanksgiving, maybe. But I would run it by my girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whoever first. I wouldn't just, I don't know. Yes, we're agreeing. It's so bad. It's very cringy. But yeah, it's bad. I think last episode, Statler said, what, I smell bull and shit, or 2 words, bull and shit, to someone, and I thought that was really funny. But yeah, it's not like he's somewhere where they don't speak English, or he has absolutely no connection to the outside world. I understand being friendly. I don't understand inviting someone to your Thanksgiving meal as she's like, I gotta go, by the way. It was weird. And that's what Cleo's friend on the screen was saying. She was like, it was weird. I felt weird about it because she was invited because that's Cleo's best friend. And I get that. That's fine. But I don't know. Messy, messy, messy. He should have just gotten his whole little Discord server together and they could have had group Thanksgiving. They could have sat at the end of the table. He could have like propped his phone or a laptop up. And they all could have shared one big meal as a happy family. But no, he just invites random people he meets at a bar. Something's not adding up, but whatever, not my decision. I just get to watch it happen and yell at my TV because it's very, very frustrating to me. But yeah, once again, we get Sean's, so this is the breakdown, is tell me the details of your sex life. Here's a random person to talk shit about you, and we will not resolve this tonight. That's how every segment goes. The one glimmer of hope segment is David and Sheila, who I don't have a meme for because there is no meme. They are perfect. David is deaf, and these were the ones where Sheila's mother passed away, like during filming, and it was really, really upsetting, and it was because their family home in the Philippines wasn't built safely, I guess. Like, she fell down the stairs, and that's awful and horrible and tragic, and it was, I can't even imagine. But they get on the tell-all, and David did propose to Sheila at the end of his time there, and she's learning more sign language and everything like that. So, like, I'm rooting for them almost exclusively. Yeah, pretty much exclusively, because they seem so genuine, and they had a beautiful, heartfelt moment before they like left, and so on the tell-all, they ask, how's the visa process going? And it sounds like it's going to be a long wait, like at least 2 years. And then if they want to get married in the Philippines, it's going to be like 3 or 4. and they were so upset, and I was upset watching them. But the good news is that they were able to make improvements on Sheila's house, and they have a good set of stairs and a new roof, and it looks so nice, and David was able to, contribute to that, because I know they were looking, right after her mom died, they were looking at contractors and, what can we do now to make things more structurally sound and safe, and yeah, so I felt really good about that. They made me happy, and of course they threw in a little bit of manufactured drama, because David did have a translator when he was in the Philippines for a little bit, because Sheila wasn't fluent in sign language, and they threw in this whole thing like, David, have you been in contact with your translator Amy? And then they cut to commercial, right? And they, right before they cut, they do all the zoom ins on everyone's face and build the tension up, and then it goes back and he goes, no, I haven't. And then they show that flashback scene where Sheila's like, I hope he doesn't want to be with the translator instead, because she's really pretty and she knows sign language fluently, and he's like, no, I would never, it was really sweet. He was like, no, I would never do that. I'm not in contact with her, and you're the only one for me. And I was like, oh. And it sounds like Sheila also has a store. It sounds like it's a convenience store that she's running, which is super cool. And I think it's called David and Sheila's, which is a very big difference than a couple from a different season, Nicole and Ozan, and they also had plans to open this store in Morocco, and Nicole had to take out a loan for it and send money to Ozan and all this, and then there's this whole I'm not. Listen, this show is so beautifully messy, and this coming week, Sunday, we start at the bottom. We will be on the same page. You don't have to watch a single episode. We will be starting from the beginning. There's only one couple that will be coming back from previous seasons. Everyone else is new to us, and that's Jasmine and Gino, and she's crying about the Panamanian flags. We know them. You and me both, we know them. And now we're going to get to start with all new, messy people, and it's not going to be as confusing, hopefully, because it's all these people that are... This is the original. The 90-day OG is what I'm going to call it, where it's just they have 90 days to get married. They bring the person not from the States over for 90 days. If they don't get married in 90 days, they go back to their home country. That's what it's going to be. And I am so excited to get back to the basics. Listen, if it makes you feel better, it makes me feel better every day when I can wake up, go, this or that, maybe it's not going quite how I want it to. But at least I'm not one of these people on TV. At least my life isn't being broadcast to the nation. At least people aren't scrutinizing every detail of my life, and at least my relationships aren't like this. With everyone. Everyone has such a messy relationship with everyone in the show. So Nicole and Ozan, real quick, the whole thing was they were going to have a store. And Nicole has gone back to the U.S. at this point, and she's told her mom, she said, no, we know what we're going to do. We had to postpone the wedding. We sent a little bit of money from the wedding. It's being used to open up this store, and it's going to be a cosmetics store, okay? Mom, it's going to be great. And then they have this whole thing where she's like, her mom is like, Nicole, you need to tell me the truth. What's going on with the money? I need pictures of the store and all this. And after a lot of denying it, Nicole just goes, there is no store. There is no store. What did he actually do with the money? We don't know. But there's no store. So, for there to actually be a store this time, because they did show pictures, exponential improvement. These two have it right. It's wild. There actually is this is gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna have to I'll have to take a picture of it. There's a Oh, he probably did. You know what? Not a bad investment for in some people's mind. There is a Etsy shop called There Is No Store. I'm not sponsored, by the way, but I'll have to take a picture of it. I have a mug, and it says the world's best mom on it, and it just has a couple pictures of some of the like known to be meanest moms from like the 90-day cinematic universe, because it was actually going to be a Mother's Day gift for my actual mom, but it showed up way too late, so I got her something else instead. But her birthday wasn't it wasn't working out in a time where I could get it to her without just being like, here's a random mug, and she would have not been upset with that, but she would have been like, you really spent money on this mug. You really spent money on this mug, so it's my mug. And it's wonderful to just open up the kitchen cupboard and they're looking at you, these reality TV show moms, in this beautiful cursive font. I'll take a picture and I'll share that later because it's glorious. Not sponsored, but hilarious that people know what kind of audience us reality TV show viewers are, and how, yes, I will buy this silly little mug, and I will love it very much. They have a bunch of stuff. I don't know. It's very fun and interesting. The kind of, I don't want to say fandom, but the kind of community that all these kinds of reality shows bring out, because I've seen it at least with that Etsy store too. They have a bunch of stuff with like sister wives, which I never really got into, and I vaguely know what's happening right now with the whole divorce saga, and also like Love After Lockup, which I do watch, but it's not on any of like the TV channels that I have access to, so I kind of have to find it after the fact. So I don't know if I've actually seen like enough Love After Lockup in order, but I don't know. That's a good one too. If I can find out when the next season starts, we may talk about that a little bit sometime too. And that one's just as it sounds. It's these people that are in romantic relationships with incarcerated people, and then the incarcerated individuals get released from prison, and then they have to go live their lives, and it's very messy too. A different kind of messy, but same general premise of person from location A ends up in location B. What happens now? And yeah, it's good. It's something else. A watch along would be cool. I need to figure out the best way to do it, and it would probably be Discord or something like that. Which, if it was in Discord, I wouldn't mute it. I wouldn't fall down my own rabbit hole of muting myself in Discord servers. But yeah, there's a lot that could be watched. And even when I do like my, as if it's mine, but even when I talk about like musicals and stuff, I have technology. You can watch them legally for free or payment on the internet too. And I love to share things I care about with people, and whether or not they care about it or not, I just like being able to talk about it. So, of course, thank you for being here for that. But the technology exists. We can do some kind of watch along, or many of them, once I can plan it out well enough. One of my good friends, Buki, she actually did a Hamilton watch along in her Discord server, and that was so much fun. I don't need to get on my Hamilton tangent, but it was very, very fun. That was a big part of my life for many years, and then it didn't fizzle out, but it did, and then I hear a song from it again, and I go, oh my god, I forgot how great this is. I like having you here. This is just a fun little zone for vibing and talking about things we like. No pressure. The only drama is drama that I'm not involved in. Drama that these people consented to because they signed up and said we'll be on this show. So at that point, any sort of criticism of them, not that it's like warranted, but like people say, when you put yourself on the internet, you're opening yourself up to criticism, and the same thing is true for these individuals putting themselves on TV. So, not that I'm not a mean person about any of these people, but yeah, it's just kind of messy. I'm trying to think. So yeah, we ended up with Tyree's segment. It was kind of a non-issue. It really wasn't that great. He sent compromising images. He donated clothes and stuff to his catfish. We don't know what actually happened. We never will. It sounds like he has improved his self-esteem where he doesn't feel like he has to only find love online. Whatever. I'm proud of him. Good for him. Statler and Dempsey are going to be living in an RV in England, and Statler has not sold all of her possessions as of this tell-all recording, and I just could not. I'm too much like Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, at least the movie version. I haven't read the book, even though I've heard good things, where I have too much stuff that I care about, and I like all my little trinkets, so I could not imagine having to get rid of all of my belongings and move into an RV with my significant other on the other side of the world. Like, what would I end up taking with me? I don't know. Like, I could not do it. Like, I am built different. I have too many trinkets. So she was saying, she's like, oh, I haven't sold any of my stuff yet. I move in like 3 weeks. I'm like, that gave me anxiety. But I hope they work out. But also, Dempsey had a job on a farm, and that was her whole thing, is she was called to this farm life out in the countryside of England. And now that she's going to be in the RV full time, they're going to like drive around, but that means that she doesn't have her farming job anymore. So Statler, who will be working remote, which is, it's nice that she has the option to, is going to have to be the sole breadwinner for I don't know how long, because if they're driving around in the RV, Dempsey's like, oh, I'll get odd jobs here and there. Like, yeah, what, are you Huck Finn though? Are you gonna whitewash the fence? Like, I don't know. I have wares if you have coin. And my wares are, oh, see, that's better than what I was thinking. I was going to say my wares are, my wares are my novelty 90 Day Fiance World's Best Mom mug, a bunch of anime figures, and a bunch of wigs, and My Little Ponies. Oh, and Littlest Pet Shop. I don't know if anyone remembers Littlest Pet Shop. I still have all of mine. Like, I spent a ton of my own money growing up buying Littlest Pet Shops, and I refused. This is a whole separate side tangent, but it is worth it. I refused to let my mom sell them with her own pricing whenever we'd have like garage sales, because I knew she would sell like all of them for like $5. And there used to be a whole section, there probably still is a whole section of YouTube. And if you're not familiar with Littlest Pet Shop, hold on, I'll pull them up here. They're these little toys, they're little bobblehead toys. They're super cute. They have gone through a couple like generations of them, I think, and I actually think they're coming back. I saw something. That there was some kind of leak. Yeah, okay, literally there's new ones. There's literally new ones. Okay, I'm not gonna go down that now. That's for me to do later. It's for me to cry about at another time. You know what? You're very valid for that. Yeah, these guys. Love them. I have so many of them. Listen, I can't watch the show Hoarders because I fear that that could become me, but my caveat is I don't actually keep garbage. Uh, all my stuff is clean. I just have a lot of it. So that's my one thing, is that it is organized. But basically, I have all my Littlest Pet Shops still, and I refuse to sell them in mass at a garage sale because I used to watch Littlest Pet Shop YouTubers. I used to watch them, and there were a couple of them that you could get big bucks for in like 2009 and 2010 if you sold them on eBay. I didn't have any of those ones that were going for big money, but in my head, I was like, no, I had a very thought out plan. I said I was going to go through the ones that I can part with, and I'll research, I'll figure out how much I can price them for so I can get something out of it. I mean, besides like, oh, years of fun. That's very true. I did get that. But I haven't gone through them all because there are literally so many. I think they're at my parents' house still. If I who wants a Littlest Pet Shop collection tour? No one is the right answer. But you know, I never chewed on their heads. But what I did want to chew is Polly Pocket clothing. It just looked like the most delightful texture, like a little gummy. There's a lot of inanimate objects that I still would like to eat if I was allowed. And I have a friend who feels very similarly, and she enables me. Not in a bad way, but in a, oh, this has a nice texture, I think you would like this. So if you've ever had the Nerds gummy clusters, I just call them textures because the texture is so magnificent. It's like a Nerds rope, but it's in cut up like bite-sized pieces. So it's got like that crunchy, like pebble, aquarium gravel outside, and the chewy inside. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. No notes one of the best candies ever. And also, uh, she she would make like a bunch of treats, like chocolate covered Oreos and pretzels and things like that. And she literally, for my birthday one year, she made a nice little assortment of those things for me, and she covered them in these she covered them in those little like bead sprinkles that, entirely like spherical ones, and she said that they reminded her of aquarium gravel, so she thought I would like it. And I did. It was great. So shout out to my friends for letting me uh, eat equivalents of aquarium gravel and Polly Pocket clothes in a safe way, uh, and introducing me to some of the best candy known to man. Oh, it's so good. I'm thinking about it. The Forbidden Nerds. There's so many things that are like forbidden, like Orbeez. Like Orbeez look like they should be popping boba. Like I never had Orbeez, but whenever I saw them, oh, I could just eat them. Which is a totally normal thing to feel and want and achieve. Um, that's yeah, the forbidden candy. I'm sure there's a ton of like former Tumblr posts that were all about, yeah, like, yeah, forbidden foods that were not actually food at all. Or like those classroom blocks. I don't know how to describe them, but they were just like those graph counting blocks. Oh my goodness, you're right. You are absolutely right. It does flow. Oh, it looks like that's, it also applies if you've ever seen like glass blowing. Whenever they put the glass in the glass blower in the fire, it looks like a Jolly Rancher. It looks like a Jolly Rancher. So I was trying to see if I could find any of those old Tumblr posts. I just saw this one. It says, I used to think green apple was a flavor invented by the candy industry, like blue raspberry, because I'd never seen a green apple before. I just thought all apples were red. And long story short, when I realized I was red-green colorblind, it really fucked me up. So thank God that it wasn't me, but we'll have to get like a collection of uh, food that looks like it isn't actually food. Or I don't know how to explain my words. A list of things that I wanted to eat that I couldn't, but there's a food equivalent. That's what I need more of in my life. Like, yeah, where's my safe to eat molten lava? That's gummy. That's orange. That's perfect. Where's my Orbeez boba and my Polly Pocket clothes? Like the joy I would feel. Yeah. Oh, and um like every time I've seen, like, you see a bath bomb, Looks delicious. Mm-mm-mm. And also, all like the animated food and everything. But oh, thinking about it. The sticky mega gummy. Have you seen it? I'll have to find it because the picture is worth it. Um, of someone had a bottle of gummy vitamins and the gummies had melted and it just formed the shape of the bottle. Um, Shoot. I don't know how to quite. I'm like, how do I look this up? Oh, okay. Oh, it's an iFunny image. It's gonna be fine. Let's open that. Okay, I found it. This is the one. My gummy vitamins melted together, so I'm just gonna take a bite out of this every day instead of letting them go to waste. That is the true forbidden gummy. Look at it. That's also. Do you think that's one day's bite? Because that's a huge bite. That has to be more than your 2 gummy serving size. I'd almost prefer if this person cut the gummy like canned cranberries from Thanksgiving. The color's about right. You could just lay it on its side and you could have perfect little slices of gummy vitamin. That would be very satisfying. Yeah, that's why they have the child-proof caps because kids can definitely get into those, especially the gummies. This if you just eat that whole gummy vitamin bottle uh, form mold thing, uh, you would never get sick ever again. You would be so healthy. That's an apple a day keeps the doctor away. No, gummy vitamin bottle, the whole bottle, the mega gummy. You never have to go to a doctor again. I'm not a medical professional. Don't take my advice, but I'm thinking this is what they don't want you to know. Just just eat your gummy vitamin bottle. Yeah, I. It doesn't look like the bottle was cut either, and that looks like they don't sell like glass. I've never seen a glass container for gummy vitamins, so that has to be a plastic. Hmm. Hmm. I now I'm questioning. Now I'm questioning everything. How did you get it out? Well, okay, it looks. No, you couldn't have pulled it out through the top because it's way wider. The rest of the width of the bottle is like I was looking like it doesn't look like the whole top. The white lid doesn't look like it took. It just looks like the rest of the bottle, obviously because the gummies aren't like in the lid, but you couldn't have pulled it out through there. because the width of the rest of the bottle. But also, there's no way that this person would have, like, taken all the gummies out, melted them down, and, like, mold. No, there's no way. This is an X-Files moment. Scully, you're not gonna believe this. I don't know. Can someone fact check the gummy vitamin bottle, please? Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that all night, which isn't a bad thing. You're absolutely right. I don't know how it works. Unless you can't see, like, the bottom of the container. Did this person cut out the bottom of their adult multivitamin gummies Up and Up brand? Kowalski analysis. Please. I need answers. I'm looking. Someone on Reddit apparently asked, can I cut up my melted mass of gummy vitamins back into pieces? No, someone posted... Oh, okay. Someone... I am mesmerized by the giant gummy. This person... I'm looking... Oh... It is. I'm enamored. Someone on Twitter said that this, in terms of the gummy melting together, happened to me a few weeks ago. I just took a spoon and ate a little vitamin jelly every day. I'm trying to see if someone asked how you got it out of the container. How'd you get it out of the container? Yeah, someone... Oh, okay, okay, someone said... So someone asked, how'd you get it out the container? Says, this happened to me. Once it fills, it just peels off of the bottle and it's soft and flexible, so it isn't difficult. I guess. I mean, I don't know enough to disprove it. Yeah, this is the the Gummy Science channel now. How did you get that out? Someone says. Yeah, no, they're saying you couldn't cut out the bottom. Oh, and then a lot of people are saying this happened with their edibles. Oh, this person said it was probably half full. Wait. It was probably half full and on its side when it melted, then got shimmied out through the top because it's malleable to some extent. Hmm. All right, I'm just gonna come to the conclusion that, you know what? I know it does have the bottleneck, but that maybe that plastic on the bottle isn't one of the super rigid ones. Maybe the person literally like squeezed it out. That which like just squeezed it out and it, cuz I know what they mean when they say it's still kind of malleable. Like it's not rock solid, so maybe it, I don't know. Maybe it there's a giant bite taken out of the bottom because the bottom got messed up upon exiting the container. I'm gonna have to go back to school for gummy vitamin science. Because it's like it could have been like a mold. They have molds, but that's the same shape of the bottle. It's not like um, one of those candy molds. Because there would be a seam if you've ever used one of those and you have to fill both halves, and there would be a seam down the middle. There's no way that it could be hidden that cleanly. Yeah. So I'm thinking it might have just been squished. The plastic was squishy enough and the gummy was squishy enough that you could kind of squeeze. Oh, except the bottle doesn't look like it's dented either. This is insane. My brain is gonna explode. I'm gonna the rest of my life just thinking about this bottle, about this gummy. That's so wild. Yeah, I have no answer. The world may never know. If you ever watched BuzzFeed Unsolved, the case will remain unsolved. I love those guys. I know I've mentioned them before. Cool guys. Um, great work. Those are my emotional support ghost hunters. I'm still looking at the comments on this to see if they can tell me. Someone said you're gonna OD and turn into Captain Planet or something. Oh, this is a genuinely nice comment. It says, "Oh dear, please be careful. Do not do this. Most of the vitamins will pass, but the metal minerals in them, like iron, can be dangerous if you eat too much of that bottle." And then someone replied, "I want to be Iron Man." Yeah, there's a lot of comments that are like, "How'd you get it out the bottle?" Yeah, and then people are saying that this is, yeah, they took this from someone else's post. Yeah, and people are calling shenanigans on it just because of the space at the lid. I'm out of comments on that. I gotta leave that alone. I'm lost in the gummy vitamin sauce. The gummy vitamin, it's not sauce because it's solid. The gummy vitamin gummy bottle. Very interesting. Oh, to quote Sean Robinson, that's the name of the 90-day host. We will not resolve this tonight in regards to the gummy bottle situation, but it was it's an honest effort. Vitamins are like the gummy vitamins are like too much. It's gonna sound silly, but it's like too much money for me to spend and do the experiment myself and see if I can get it out. But maybe someday I'll I'll put the gummy vitamin bottle to the test. See if I can, yeah, make it myself, and can it be removed in such a way that the bottle won't uh, the bottle won't be compromised, and also the gummy will maintain the full shape of the bottle. We will we will maybe find out. But for now, it does remain unsolved. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed in regards to this messy 90-day tell-all, and I think the answer at this point is no. Um, I also can't answer the bottle question. I don't have a desire to take a bite out of the gummy bottle, though. Uh, that seems like too much. I'd rather stick to the Polly Pocket clothes and Orbeez and Nerds gummy clusters. You know, normal things. I'm still looking. I love normal thing. I am normal. I am not exactly. That reminds me of I, I spent a lot of time on Tumblr in my formative years, if you can't tell, but there was a Tumblr post that went around, and it was like, I love going to the dentist, but I get nervous because I want to get a good grade in teeth, which is normal and possible to achieve. So those are words that I think of that's like a phrase that I think of all the time for situations like I want to get a good grade on stream, which is something normal and possible to achieve. But also, yeah, last time I went to the dentist, I was like, I got a good grade in teeth. So, yeah, that's how my brain operates. I did get a very humbling notification the other day that my Tumblr was 10 years old. And I went, oh my god, okay. And I sat there and I thought about it a little bit, and I said, alright, that's enough. But I am grateful to that health site because I actually have a couple good friends that I've known in real life now that we found each other through Tumblr and we ended up meeting, and now we're really good friends and still are to this day. So, for all the shenanigans that happened there, uh, shout out to the besties from Tumblr for translating into real life. Love that for me and us. But so much of my humor has been shaped by just random stuff from that website. It, and I swear that's where I saw the gummy bottle the first time. But also, yeah, being normal is. How can you truly classify that? I don't know. So, whatever you want. I am cringe, but I am free. I have truly taken that to heart, because if I'm not free and I'm not having fun, then what is it all for? So that's why I can be a little cringe and a little free and do fun stuff like this and just have a good time. And as long as you're not hurting anyone, yeah, be cringe and free at the same time. Or not, but don't be cringe and not free. Because then what's the benefit of being cringe? So I'm on the cringe list, not because I'm in that Discord server of Christians, uh, but I am free, and I think he's just cringe and not free. But maybe I'll find out something differently, and I'll check out one of his streams, or we raid Christian, or I interview Christian, and could you imagine? That would be crazy. There's a YouTuber that I watch that does do some like 90 Day Fiance related content. And he actually has met up with a couple cast members because they lived close enough to each other. And he has like taken pictures with them and like had a meal with them, and like that's just so wild. Like, I obviously, yes, they're real people, but it's like when teachers, they sleep in the school, right? It's like the same sort of thing. Like, I understand you're a real person, but since I'm only seeing you on my TV, you're not real. You're just a guy on my TV. So that would be crazy too. If there was like a, oh, there's so many conventions for things nowadays. There needs to be like reality TV con. Like, not just having random like or not Desperate Housewives. That's a completely different show. Not just having like a Real Housewife like show up somewhere. Like, no, like all of it. Like, you don't. It doesn't have to be. It's not like a thing where you like cosplay or anything, but bring us all together. Have people host panels. We can talk about the new and the old and the currently airing, and maybe you can get guest stars to come. Guest stars, yeah, it's just reality TV people. Like, oh, that sounds like it would be an absolute disaster, and I would love to be there. Could you imagine just like walking through the halls of the event, and then you just turn your head and Big Ed is there, and I go, oh my god. I think I'm gonna. That's going in the back burner of my brain for yeah, Big Ed. He's Yeah. He would go too. He's seems like he's very, yes, in the dream journal. You ruined my dream journal. I don't have enough event organization skills to actually be able to pull that off. But if I can if I can get in touch with people that do, I've got the idea. I've got the dream. The execution leaves a lot to be desired, but maybe someday, like the magic conch would say. Could you imagine, like, someone's like, yeah, what are your long-term goals? You're like, oh, well, yeah, I'm interested in hosting a reality TV convention. Oh, like, that's nice. Have you ever been on reality TV? Oh no. Oh no. I just watch a lot of TV. We had that realization the other day with my mom and some family friends, where my mom was asking. It wasn't even reality TV at that point. It was just TV. She was asking if they had seen something, and they're like, "Oh, like no, like we don't really watch TV." And she's like, "Oh, that's like most of what I do." And I can't say I'm the same way. It really is 90 Day Fiance, uh, the occasional seasonal anime, and then like YouTube, and then whenever I feel like watching um, like random stuff, or I'll go back to the X Files or Hannibal, which it's Hannibal season and X Files season. Besides, that being all day, every day, truly. But it is the time of year for both of those. So yeah, this is my true little niche. Uh, but aw, I'll tell her. She'll be like, "Who's giving me a shout out? How do you know them?" She's yeah. I'll let her know. She'd be like, "Who's that?" Yeah. How do you know them? School conventions work. She needs like a diagram, and I mean that with all the love in my heart. She needs like a diagram of people I know. I'll mention a friend, and she'll be like, "Who's that?" And she needs a picture. She needs name and pronouns, and she knows the way I know them, and it's gonna look like aw, yeah, I'll definitely let her know. But it's gonna look like that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, with the Sweet D has a heart attack, with the Pepe Sylvia board. That's what she needs. She just needs me to break it down. And that's also me trying to figure out how these gummies can fit the perfect bottle shape. Because it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, this is what she needs. She needs me to make a big board like this, and that's also, yeah, that's me trying to figure out how the gummy bottle can come out of the plastic bottle so cleanly and remain completely intact. It's a good episode too, actually. I really like It's Always Sunny as well, especially at this point for like background noise. Doesn't fit in the genre of anything else that I watch, but very fun. So I'll have to expand her like friend board beyond the people I know in real life, and she'll just be like, who are you talking about? And I'll have to be like, from Twitch, from Twitter, from the internet. She'll be like, who's we me? And I'll be like, no, 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 you don't understand. I'll break it down, and she'll say, oh, you were talking about Littlest Pet Shops? I still have all those in my basement. You need to take them out of the basement and sell them, or just get them out of my house. And I tell her that I will, and then and then I don't know, I forget. They're in like a big Tupperware. It's not taking up that much space, and I will argue that with her, that don't I don't know how much storage she's truly losing with one container of Littlest Pet Shops, but that's for another day. I will have to obtain them from her, and then we can have a Littlest Pet Shop breakdown video, lore video. We used to, like for a long time, um, that sounds, I don't know, like into like middle school and high school, there was a point where my Littlest Pet Shops were still completely accessible, and I would have friends over, and we would just make the most outlandish, dramatic stories, like people do. Cheating, going to jail, executions, all of it, and it was a lot of fun, and I remember those days quite fondly, of whatever stupid shit we would do with those toys, and yeah, having them, yeah, rebel against each other, big wars, factions breaking out. Yeah, good. Always been a little obsessive, I suppose. Like, oh, where's that autism diagnosis? Vehicular manslaughter. Yeah, probably. I'm trying to think if I had any like cars, but yeah, probably. If I didn't, my brother did, and I'm sure I would borrow it. Well, I guess at that point, since they're like animals, would it be like vehicular pet slaughter? That's what I'm gonna go with, because there's so many different species of those now. Like there was even one. It was one of the. It was the kiwi bird, and it was one where you had to mail in. You had to mail it in. You had to collect like the little. There were like stickers that were sold in the packs, and you had to send in a certain number of them, and then they would send you the kiwi bird instead. And there it is. And I did obtain the kiwi bird. I think it was like, yeah, I think it was like 6 or 8. You had to send in your little tokens, and they said, okay, here you go, take the bird. And it's really cute, and I'm pretty sure that's the only kiwi bird to exist of that toy variety, so very fun. like all of my pets together, I don't know anymore because I didn't I didn't sell them when the market was hot. um, but I have so many. I feel like I need to go through and count because it's over 100. I can tell you that much. But the number of them that are like truly, like, I'm vaguely familiar with that. Not like the resale market, but there's certain uh, like certain animal molds that are more highly sought after than the others. They call this is so silly, but they call them the big five. The number of big five pets that I have is actually, from like what I remember, is relatively low because it was like the Great Danes, the collies, the cocker spaniels, um, the short-haired cats, and shoot, what's the other one? Oh, the dachshunds. So I had a lot of short-haired cats, and I had a good amount of the dachshunds, but the other ones I really didn't have many of. A lot of them, I'm pretty sure, like, I've got a lot of long-haired cats too, uh, but like lizards and fish and like butterflies and stuff. We'll go through. I'll figure it out. So I don't know because I don't have as many that are as highly sought after by collectors because they're just, I don't know. People just don't want them as much. So I mean those ones I'm not as like, oh, I need to get every penny out of every animal because it's not realistic. I had a lot of bunnies too. I had a lot of bunnies. I don't even want to know like how much it ended up costing me, like if I was to add up the original retail value, but there was also a bunch that I did end up buying off of eBay back in the day. So those I don't even have their original value because they didn't necessarily come in like the set. Like when I bought from eBay, which was only a couple of times, I would just buy like the pets, so it wouldn't include the house or whatever accessories were there. So that would change that, but it's probably I probably paid a ton. Um, I don't want to think about it, but really didn't spend my money on anything else. The occasional video game or things were gifts too, but oh, it's not as expensive as Legos were or still are, but I do think they released the new Littlest Pet Shops though. I might take a look at those and then I am gonna have to sleep at some point, unfortunately. Okay, yeah. So this is, oh, okay, these are new. Let me see if I can pull these up here. Yeah, okay, here's the website. Okay, so for the record, this is new. So the Littlest Pet Shops used to be, they were Hasbro. But this is Basic Fun, I guess. Okay, so it says that they're in partnership with Hasbro. The countdown is on. 64 days. Okay. What is the immersive Roblox experience? Oh, I didn't mean to move chat. I meant to move this. What is the immersive Roblox experience for Littlest Pet Shop? Oh, I think all those Lego creator sets are so cool. Uh, Bobucks, yeah. I'm really going to be curious. Yeah, they have to be getting all those Roblox kids with that. What I'm curious about, I don't want to sign up for your updates right now. Can I? They look cute. The ones that I see here, you look like how I remember you. Can that panda go away, please? Those ones. You look like how I remember you. Does anyone over the age of like 10 play Roblox? Actually, now that I have this picture pulled up, I had this pink hedgehog. That one, I had him. Well, I probably still do. He's probably in my parents' basement. Does anyone... I don't know. I feel old. I don't know enough about what all those kids are playing. I don't know. I know there's... I know about those Robux. Familiar with those. Actually, there have been some people that I've commissioned, and they also accepted payment in Robux, and I was like, that's cool. Can't do that for you. Oh, I do know about what is it? Yeah, the skibidi 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 toilet. Yeah, I am familiar with that. Um, Unfortunately, I've seen that. I've seen and I've seen that they've made like games based off of it, like random like itch.io games. Um, that's about all I know. They like TikTok. I've definitely been on TikTok before. I still don't get the skibidi toilet. Like I've seen it. I just like I don't know. I need to go back and relearn the lore. Um, yeah, I need to go back and relearn the lore. I'm just thinking if I did play Roblox, it would be me and then a bunch of kids that would probably bully me because I don't know what's happening. And they'd say, "You're really bad at this." And I'd go, "You're absolutely right." Um, Many things to consider, many things to put in the dream journal. And the that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse meme. This is a tool that'll help us later. It's all going in the dream journal as a tool that can help us later. How? Well, I just don't know. But we just have to wait and find out. Oh, Worm, I think I'm gonna have to kiss the JoJomies goodnight because, unfortunately, I'm not one of those kids and I do have to work tomorrow. But tomorrow is going to be fun. In case he watches this back, it's one of my good friends who I actually met through Tumblr, that I talked about earlier. It's his birthday tomorrow, and there's a surprise birthday function that I'm in on. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'll talk to you guys later. It was very fun. Thank you so much. I will say happy birthday to him, on everyone's behalf. Um, but good night, JoJomies. Sleep tight. Don't let the gummy vitamin bottles bite. Bye bye.